the use of past questions is nothing new. All generations have used past questions in schools. Past questions are used to serve as a guide, to give students a sense of how questions are posed, over a number of years, to give students a sense of how they should think about certain things as well. So past questions have been used. But what is new in 2020? I want to submit that what is new in 2020 is that we have politicized and micromanaged education. And that is where the whole problem is coming from. I want to submit that never in our history has a government, through its Ministry of Education, printed past questions, added chief examiner's report. I don't know how many people have seen chief examiner's reports over the years and giving these to students. Number two, why the students led to believe questions would come from the past questions. And here, you see, if we can do a discourse analysis of the statements of the president, of the Minister of Education, of NPT officials over a period of time, we are going to see there is a correlation between the kinds of things they said and the kinds of hopes and aspirations the students began to have. I mean, at a time when parents couldn't go to schools, you have politicians going to schools, telling students about the exams, telling them to vote. I mean, we are registering students, in schools as part of the registration exercise. Now, all of these lead to one very important conclusion. Education has been seriously politicized, and it is obvious that the government is riding on the coattails of what would have been presumed to be a very successful outcome into the elections, touting a flagship program, touting a free SHS program, and then touting a successful outcome as the main plank for asking for more years. Of course, we know that free SHS is not new. And Nkrumah did it in various ways. The free primary education, the Northern scheme, and I want to submit that even some of our members of our political leaders, got free education through the Northern Scholarship Scheme. We had the Cocoa Board scheme, and then, of course, from 1992, we had the progressive free education. In none of these eras did we see a government so actively intervene, so actively micromanage education with a view to achieving a political outcome from it. And that is what the whole issue boils down to. Of course, the actions of the students, that is something that cannot be tolerated, but were they led to believe that this is what was going to be the case? If they were led to believe that this would be the outcome, then we have done irreparable harm to our educational system. Then we have brought about, or we have created a situation where education is in decline. So this is a very important issue. We are at a crossroads. Are we going to continue eroding the foundations of our education through our political interference and intervention? So that is one dimension. The other dimension is look, it may not be related, but we have a climate of intolerance, right? If you are a head teacher and you complain, a headmaster, and you complain about problems in your school, what happens to you? If you are a teacher and you complain about problems in your school, what happens to you? We have people who have been rusticated because they complained about certain things. So are we creating a climate of intolerance when it comes to free SHS?